Hello everyone, it is me, Tofu Melody. I am here on the floor in my house. I have Molly and Ziggy kind of next to me. They're like roaming around. I have their beds, so maybe they will like lay down next to me and they can be in the video. But welcome to my YouTube channel. I promised you guys at 100 subscribers that I would do a quirky little Q&A video. So I made a Google form where people could submit their questions either anonymously or including their username. Sorry, I'm petting Ziggy right now. And so I haven't looked at the questions, but they are here on my iPad. So I'm also recording this on my phone. Sorry, Ziggy's like freaking out. I don't know if I can move the camera, but I have them on my iPad. I'm recording on my phone. So I'm gonna be looking at these questions and I will just answer them in this unedited video. Down. Okay, so if there are jump cuts, it's because I'm like taking care of my dogs as well. Okay, so the first one comes from one of my longtime viewers on Twitch, Gally Ray Jepson. Shout out, thank you, bestie. Longtime viewer, first time viewer, or how does that saying go? Anyway, if you had to fight one elephant-sized duck or 50 duck-sized elephants, which would you choose? I think one elephant-sized duck, and I wouldn't fight him. I would just hug him and cuddle him and squeeze him and tell him that he's a good boy. But I love that question, thank you. Okay, so the next one comes from Anonymous. How do you get your nails so vibrant? Also, I love the top you're wearing right now. I actually don't know what top it was. I think it might have been the picture that I uploaded on YouTube, but thank you very much. It was probably pink. And my nails are vibrant, not sponsored, but I use this brand called Holo Taco, which was a brand created by Christine from Simply Nailogical. I also use Cirque colors and I also use ice cream nails, but I think predominantly I have Holo Taco. And all the brands I buy are vegan and cruelty free, but Holo Taco's specifically vegan and cruelty free as well. So I highly recommend them. They're not gel because gel takes a lot of work and I just don't have the time or patience for that. So yeah, I use Holo Taco, but thank you for your question and for the nice things you said. Okay, and so these questions come from Murph, my beloved mod. Thank you, Murph. I super appreciate it. So the first question is, how did I meet Daniel? So Daniel and I went to Amherst College together. We were in the same year. We met our freshman year. We both took intro to calculus, and so I knew him from there because one of our mutual friends introduced us. But we didn't actually start becoming friends until our sophomore year. So in our sophomore year, freshman year, all the freshmen like live together, but as sophomores, you can kind of like try to pick which dorm you live in, and also there are like specific dorms based on different themes. And so both of us, it's funny, we're both Peruvian, but we lived in the Asian culture house because it was for people who were interested in Asian culture and taking classes that were like Asian culture themed. So I took a lot of Japanese history courses and he was taking Chinese language courses. And so we both lived in the Asian culture house. And I was playing Dark Souls with my door open because like it was a pretty chill vibe. Like we would just have our doors open and people would be in the common room or whatever. And he was walking by and he was like, are you playing Dark Souls right now? And I was like, hell yeah, I am. And so like he came in and we were just like talking about it, and like we realized that we had so many interests in common. And so we started like watching anime together like weekly. I think we had like an anime night where we would just like watch anime. One of the ones we watched was My Love Story, which if you know that anime, it's a very funny anime. And we started like gaming together and stuff. And so after we graduated, we remained friends, and we would just like hop on the phone and then just like play games together. And I jokingly was like, you know, we should really record this and just like upload it for safekeeping because we would have so many funny conversations. And I was like, it's just like us bantering or whatever. And so that lasted for like a year or so, and eventually we did it. I was like, I set up a Twitch channel, and like we're gonna save the VODs. I didn't actually start uploading into YouTube until 2020, I think. I was like really late to the game, and I wish I would have. But look how cute they are. But yeah, so that's how we met, and yeah, it's been such a great friendship. He's like truly one of my best friends. Have I ever been fired for, or no, wait, sorry, I skipped a question. What was your first job and what jobs have you had? So I worked in high school. It wasn't a job because it was all volunteer, but it kind of functioned like a job because I had to interview there, and we had set hours, and like I had a supervisor and stuff. And so that was at a hospice in my high school's town. And it was very much just like taking care of patients and like just spending time with them. And sometimes I would help out, like helping them out of bed, or like I didn't do any of the medical stuff, obviously, because I wasn't qualified to do that. But I would like help the nurses if they like needed to get something. I would like go grab it for them or whatever. The first job I had that was actually paid was at Amherst. So I worked at the admissions office at the front desk. And so I wasn't the main front desk person. There was a main front desk person who was like, that was her salary job. But students could like fill in for her for lunch or like, or whatever. And so I did that throughout the whole time I was at Amherst. And so I would answer phones, and I would like greet people if they would come into the admissions office, and I would like answer questions and stuff. And then once I became a junior, actually I think as soon as my sophomore year, I started to grade homeworks. And so yeah, so those were the first two jobs that I had. And have I ever been fired from a job? I have not been fired from a job, thankfully. I have had like a lot of experiences of helping like coworkers and stuff being fired from a job. I feel like I think of it as like this dramatic thing, but usually there's just a lot of politics involved, and it's not even necessarily because the person was like being, you know, not a good worker. And so hopefully if I get fired, it's because of, I don't know, budget cuts or something. Have I ever been arrested? No, I haven't been arrested. I've never gotten a ticket. I've gotten a few parking tickets. I actually got pulled over when I was, I think, 16, and I had like had my license for less than a year, and I cried. And it was late at night, because I remember we were like applying, me and my friends were applying for colleges. And so I was dropping off one of my friends, and that friend was sitting in the front seat, and my other friend was sitting in the back seat, and I was going to drop her off at her house after. And I was like, do you want to hop in the front seat? And she was like, nah, it's fine. I'll just stay in the back, because she had her backpack and a bunch of stuff. And so I got pulled over, and the cop looked in the back seat, and he was like, why is she in the back seat? And I was like, I started explaining that, oh, we had another friend in the front seat and I just dropped her off. But my friend was like, my other friend in the back seat was like, well, she's my chauffeur. And then the cop was like, have you guys been drinking? And I was like, I swear we're not drunk. I'm just like a stressed out senior in high school. So yeah, so that happened, but I have not been arrested, no. What was your longest relationship? I think probably in college for a few years. And then I had a long-term boyfriend in high school as well. That was like a year and a half. But, and then stuff like after college. Sorry, Ziggy's like barking. Give me a bud. So I've had a few long-term relationships, and then some, what did Jada call it? Entanglements. Not during the relationships, obviously, but yeah. Do you have any breakup horror stories? That's a really good question. I don't think so. I don't think anything dramatic has been has happened. My high school boyfriend totaled my car once, but we didn't break up over that. I mean, he was kind of an asshole about it, but it wasn't because like that wasn't the reason why we broke up. I've told this story on stream, but basically what happened was we were like driving to visit his aunt, I think. But there's a rule that like if you're below the age of 17 or something, that you have to that you can't drive past like 9 or 10 p.m. I think. Maybe it's changed since this was like 10 years ago. but he was a couple years older than me, so he was driving the car the rest of the way, which was my car, and he totaled it. And, so that was bad, but that wasn't why we broke up. But I guess that's like the biggest horror story I have. What made you want to start streaming? So, yeah, so I mentioned this earlier, but it was basically just the fact that Daniel and I were already playing video games together and I wanted to like save those memories. And then once I started streaming, I started doing more solo content as well because Daniel's obviously really busy and can't always stream with me. And there are some streams that are just better suited for solo streams, like if it's a solo game that doesn't really make sense to do banter. So I think what's kept me streaming is you guys, like the content, the engagement. I think I had like a great experience gaming growing up. I had a really great childhood memory of gaming. I have an older brother, and my dad was really into gaming, and so but I'm younger than my older brother, obviously, and so I found myself watching them play games rather than like me actually playing them, or like I wasn't as good as them, so I would just watch instead. And so I think the most fun part about streaming has been like I get to be the one to like play the game finally, and then people can watch. And so it's like finally my turn. Like I don't know if anyone can relate to like player two syndrome, where it's like you're always just like on the side or whatever, and you're not like the main protagonist. But yeah, I think that just the community engagement, it truly feels like a fun, just like hangout sesh with people. I can like interact with you guys and see what you guys think. And yeah, I love video games in general. I would be playing this stuff anyway if I wasn't streaming, but the fact that I can share this with you guys is like super fun and special to me. Why do you hate us? I don't hate you. There's this joke that I hate my Twitch mods, but I love you guys. If you couldn't have dogs, what other pets would you have? Definitely cats. I actually was a cat person. I grew up with a lot of cats, and so like my best friend growing up was a cat. But her name was Penny, and I love her and miss her very much. I have two Italian Greyhounds. They're kind of cat-like. But yeah, I would definitely have cats. I think later in life I'll probably want to have some cats. More cooking streams when? Maybe we should do some holiday cooking streams. That would be fun. Okay, I have Ziggy on my lap. I think he was mad at me because he loves sitting on my lap and I didn't have anywhere for him to sit. So I like set a blanket in between my legs and now he's like sitting on my lap, and then Molly's in my bed, or in her bed next to me. Okay, what is my favorite meal to cook? I would probably say anything from Hot for Food by Lauren Toyota. She is a goddess of cooking and she's a vegan queen. I love her so much. Any of her recipes, particularly the vegan mac and cheese, is so good. And there's this vegan fondue, like cheese fondue, that is just like so good with like fresh bread. So probably one of those two things. Which I have done a vegan mac and cheese by her on my channel, but maybe we should do the fondue. That's like a nice holiday one. What's the first video game you remember playing? So probably Pokemon, I think. Yeah, on like the original Game Boy. I remember my brother and I think had to share. And then I think maybe after that, I remember a lot of like toddler games. Like there's this like I forget what it's called, but there was like this dollhouse game where you like got to do, was it like Little Tykes or something like that? God, I can't remember. But that I remember from a really early age. My dad is super cool and super tech savvy, so he would let us play different games on like the PC, and so we could like have any games that we wanted. I won't say how, not saying how, but yeah. But I think Pokemon was the first one. I think we had Pokemon Red, and then I think we got Yellow later. But yeah. On average, or no, wait. What was the first game you streamed? Oh god, I think it was probably Dark Souls with Daniel. And then I think I also streamed Celeste. And then probably Spelunky. So I think those three games. Celeste was a really big thing for my channel. It got me a lot of my viewers. And then Spelunky got me a lot of my my current followers as well. And then, yeah, I think it was those two games. And then for banter, it must have been like a Dark Souls game. On average, how far are you from the sun? Oh, fuck. I don't know, but I know it's more than I would think. What 3 places would you like to travel? I really want to go to Hawaii, like, so bad. Hey, Bubba. I really want to go to Japan. I mentioned this before, but I've taken a bunch of Japanese history courses. I learned a little bit of Japanese when I was younger. My dad had like these language workbooks for us. That was really fun, and I really want to learn Japanese someday. So I think for Japan, I'd want to like live there for like a couple months or something to really get the full experience. And then look at it. He looks like a baby kangaroo or something. And then third place, I don't know. I kind of want to just like pick somewhere random or something. Actually, no, I really want to go to India. My best friend from my master's program, she's from India, and I am hoping that once I finish my PhD, I'll have more time and funds to travel, and then I can like go with her to India. That would be so fun. Shout out to Maitri. I love you so much. What are 3 band singers you'd like to see live? Daft Punk. Rip, that will never happen. One of my biggest regrets in life is being a kid during the Alive tour because I just like straight up couldn't go. Daft Punk for sure. I did see Taylor Swift live, so that was a big one. Let me think. Who else? I've seen Odessa live. That was really good. I've seen Gorillaz live as well. I don't know. I feel like there are some more niche people in the tech scene. I've been really into funk lately. It's PHONK. If you want to look it up. Some of my favorite artists right now are Diverse and Mylane. I would love to see them live. That would be super cool. Or I'm trying to think who else. Netski is a drum and bass musician that I would love to see live one day. So yeah, maybe someone more niche like that. That would be super fun. How are Molly and Ziggy? They are good. They've been wandering around. If you've been following my Twitch streams, you know that Ziggy had a luxating patella surgery earlier this year. That was like really, really hard on everyone because it was like 3 months to recovery. He couldn't run. He could only walk a certain amount of time a day, and he ended up having 2 surgeries for that. But I guess it can be more common in greyhounds, but he is like all better from that. Here's Molly. He's all better from that, and so they're doing so much better. They did kind of gain a little bit of weight because of that, because I wasn't able to walk them. And so we're kind of working on that right now. I run them every day. They have a fenced in backyard that they can run, and so we're just working on that. They cry for treats a lot too, and if you're a dog parent, you know that it breaks your heart to like say no to them. I need to be better about it though. But otherwise, they're doing really great. Let's see. And then a last question from Anonymous says, what inspires you? This is a really good question. I don't know. I think inspiration and motivation are kind of like on one side of the spectrum, and then when that's lacking, you have discipline. And so I think what inspires me a lot is Ziggy's literally shaking the camera. What inspires me a lot is just I don't know, like just wanting to learn and grow and just become my best self every day. I, like everyone else, makes mistakes, and I try and grow from that, and I'm always trying to be better. And so that inspires me. Animals inspire me a lot. I am really into animal advocacy and wellness and welfare issues, and so that has been really inspiring me to my career and working on my PhD and being in public health for animals. For gaming, what inspires me is you guys and just chatting with you guys, and Daniel inspires me, and having a good time inspires me. I also take a lot of inspiration from seasons and weather and things like that. And so, I don't know, just like cultivating a good home and things like that inspire me. Um, and yeah, and then when that's lacking, I really try and be disciplined. And so when inspiration and motivation is lacking, I try to just draw on being really disciplined and having routine. And so that's been really helpful to achieve goals like academically, and then also in my personal life, and then in my streaming life as well. So that's all the questions we have. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question, either anonymously or with your new username. I really appreciate it. And yeah, for 100 subscribers, I want to again say thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. I appreciate anyone who's ever engaged with my content, has ever watched. There is just so much content out there, and the fact that you chose mine to watch even for a little bit just means a lot to me. I never take that for granted. And if we never see any growth again on either of the channels, on my Twitch channel or my YouTube channel, that would be okay with me, because I'm in it to just engage with people and to make someone's day better. And yeah, so I know that a lot of people say that, and I hope that but I hope that you see that I'm being really genuine with that, because this isn't my career right now. This isn't like what I do for a living. And so and so yeah, so I really appreciate it. I do it because I want to, I do it because it's fun, and I do it because you guys are just awesome. So thank you guys so much again, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.